they're just facilitating the discussion. They're putting the pieces in place to have a discussion, and people are, riffing off each other, and you know what I mean? So I think it can be kind of somewhat passive, too. Yeah. Like, I don't see the day-to-day operations of it being dependent on, like, everything flowing through us.
No, I don't want that. So even, and just to kind of circle back where I'm at with this whole thing, obviously, organizing the labor force, bringing structure to training. I loved in here the journeyman apprentice and those terms. Love that, man. I think that's
we should have it.
Yeah, man. I love that. So bringing structure to that. There is some structure out there, right? As far as like, the IICRC says that you're certified, right? What does that really, it's a friggin' 8 hour, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing. It's nothing.
Well, there should be the on the job where there's like, because usually the apprentice is under a journeyman or a master for so many, you have to do that for at least 2 years, and then they have to sign off and say, he can do all these things.
But we're the ones who signs off.
Right.
Like,
they have to submit the info to us.
Well, like, essentially, like, there's a test, or there's a whatever, there's some sort of there's something that you have to do to prove that you understand all these things. And then we're setting those levels of what you actually are. Are you an assistant? Like, we can essentially set those our certifications could be essentially replace the IICRC for those things.
Pretty much, Well, and you can send people's pay levels would be dictated by that too. That's why the owners might not like it. But it's like, a journeyman, you got to pay them at least $30 an hour or whatever. You know what I mean?
And as long as and for me too, it's like, no, I'm good, thanks, man. For me too, as long as I don't want this to turn into where we're supporting some sort of unqualified workforce. Like, I want it to be like, make sure. No, we're about taking pride in what we do. Taking pride as an industry and as a trade. We're taking pride as this is we're trying to turn this into a real trade.
Industry,
So like if we have an attorney on hand to protect people as far as like, workers' rights and all these things, and someone comes to us and says, hey, I'm being terminated by my employer, like...
Or they're making me sign this non-compete, or trying to make me sign it, or hold me to it.
If it's based on, T&O and poor performances, and like if your employer actually, if you have a track record of
not being a scumbag,
then you deserve to be terminated. Like, I don't want it to be that. I want it to be like we're there for the guys who are trying to better themselves. And for me, an attorney would be like if somebody was non-compete things, preventing people from advancing, so to speak, not helping those lazy shit. We're not about that. We're not about laziness. This isn't a place for laziness. This is a place of business. But so having that structure or standardized whatever, I think is great. Obviously, I still want it. I see this turning into like an employee-owned and operated restoration type thing, like where our way, the way that we do, we essentially are cutting out all these big restoration contractors with all those giant overhead, and we're going more to like an owner-operator type thing, where where you're at this level, like you have a truck, like you can run 2 or 3 jobs, you're making good, just like an electrician, just like an owner-operator electrician or plumber or any of these other guys. And you can make it as big or small as you want, but and I think that's where the real significant value is going to be. As soon as we can start getting homeowners and insurance carriers to support that type of thing. But really, all we really need to focus on is just membership at this point.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
You know, all that other, like the standardized
That's what we
training.
can add as we go.
Yeah,
along,
like
right?
we can just kind of give a vision of what we're looking to achieve, like, you know,
This
from a
is the roadmap,
30,000
yeah.
foot view, you know, and we can be transparent with our progress.
Yep.
You know, this is what we're trying to accomplish.
Yep.
This is where we are. This
Yep.
is what we need. We need membership right now,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. We need all hands on deck.
All hands
you guys
on
want
deck.
this? We're just two guys.
That's right.
Let's go. Let's do this.
We're just trying to facilitate organizing this thing
Yep.
and getting it going.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
But, you know, I think, I just think it's a very, very, it's a grandiose idea, you know?
It is.
So,
It is.
you know,
But I think it's very doable.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
And for me, like, you know, eliminating the guy that's like in the $100,000 pickup truck with a fucking $6,000 rack on it,
yeah.
telling me that you can't make money in this business anymore. Like, I just want that to go away.
Yeah. Yeah,
I want
exactly.
those guys to go away. I want to shut those guys up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
I think this is the way to do it, man.
And I want a $100,000 pickup.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do it off of holding people down or holding people back.
Yeah.
I want to do that and
Everybody
take everybody
win,
with
man.
me.
Everybody win.
I'm not doing this out of the kindness of my heart. I'm doing because I want better for myself too.
Yeah.
But I want to actually bring people with me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to step on you or hold you down and try to suck the life out of you. And you know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is. I mean, we've both
Over
been
and
that.
over and over, man.
You know,
Yeah.
like it's like, you know, you give some of these companies like your everything,
Yeah,
and
they screw you
they
over.
use you and abuse you, and the second that, like,
And then they just try to bring somebody
that's
in.
it. You know,